Right. Hello, guys and girls. Right. This is Yazart. We're here again. Yazart, the artist and author, is here at your service. Nice to have you guys back again. Hope you guys are very good. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope everything is going well with you. Nice to be back here myself. Really appreciate being here. And so on and so forth. So basically, without further ado, let's get stuck into things. I was not around yesterday. I have to apologize for that. I had some things to take care of. So let's just say life happened. So key thing is that we're alive. We're here. We thank God for another day of life. Thank God for giving us the strength to be here and give God the glory. Give God the praise in everything. Hope you guys are cool wherever you are. Whether you're at work, you're at home, you're at whatever function you are at the moment, whether you're going to sleep or just waking up. Hope you guys are cool. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this life as much as I will. So yeah, let's get this going. Basically stopped with rendering the characters in the background. I believe I missed one character here. This one on the side. So I'm going to try and back and focus on finishing that off. I jump into anything else. Okay, so I'm going to select the black. I believe I should be using my sergeant brush as well, which is still selected. I believe I should also be good to switch off my drawing layer going forward. So let me just finish off with this and then we'll see where we go from here. So hope you guys are cool. If you're joining my live, I'm Yazart. I'm an artist and author. I draw and I write and I do a host of other things. If you want to know a bit more what I do, visit my website, which is yazart.me, which is yazart.mike echo. Just go on there to see some really cool stuff that I have on offer for you guys. Thank you very much in advance. So I'm just coloring this now with my dark gray. I'm not really doing too much else after this. I do pretty much whatever I want in post. I'm a big post guy. I'm doing a bit more doing the drawing because I don't really do my post stuff and post work stuff online. I want to bore you guys with it. Part of the reason why I do this, let you guys know that it is possible for you to do digital art even if you don't have the experience. I used to be one of you, even though I've been in it for a pretty long time. Maybe when you pick it up, really fast. It took me a long time to get to where I am now. I want you to know that if I can do it, then you definitely can do it. So just food for thought. That's the reason why I tend to do a lot of my post work online, because I don't usually spend so much time drawing things because I'm just the kind of guy that likes to get my points across with my art. And sometimes my art can be highly detailed, and whatnot. Or usually is. But again, keeping things kind of straightforward. You just know that you don't have to have all the whole skill in the world. You have to feel like Terry Crews. Terry Crews took like 2 months to come up with a piece when he was still trying to find work as an actor. But yeah, that guy's his art pieces are amazing. And yeah, you are amazing for trying and believing in yourself. So there's nothing wrong in you just picking up your stuff and just learning. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Give yourself every opportunity to succeed. Give yourself the best chance of success in every regard. So guys, don't forget to give your life to Christ if you have not, because they're the end days. Time is short. I made it a priority to say this because it's something I feel in my heart I need to say. That's what this platform is. It's a platform of truth. And here we speak the truth at all times. So I want to let you guys know the truth. You give your life to Christ, things will change for you. But as Christ says, that he that is born in Christ is a new creature. All things are passed away and all things have become new. God can change your life. You just give me an opportunity to do so. There's nothing you cannot do. Just letting you guys know. Once you accept Christ, you ask for the Holy Spirit to be able to give you the power to be God's child and to do God's will. So that's what my prayer is for those of you who don't have that salvation. You should pray for it. It's free. You don't have to go through anyone to get it. You can go. The Bible says that God is the author and finisher of our faith. No man commits to the Father except through Christ. So He's the only way. And the Bible says that He's the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by Him. That's what Christ said. So if you guys want to know who God is, you need to ask Christ to save you. And when He saves you, you get baptized and you pray to have the Holy Spirit. And He will be with you forevermore. Because that void that you have, well, the void I used to have, you can get filled by God. So you're probably a lot better than I am. So you probably will have an easier time. But my point is that you can have your life changed if you just believe. That's the truth. I wouldn't say it otherwise. So hope you guys are cool. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my life. Be happy to have you here. Be grateful for you guys showing up time and again. I'm just thinking now, I believe I can switch off my drawing layer. I can just pack everything away and then I can go. Oh no, I still have to do backgrounds and everything. So I have a fair, what I can think of doing now, I have a fair bit of work to do. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I have a fair bit of work to do, so I probably should leave everything as is. It's a bit riskier for me because if I save, then I have whatever, but I'll just keep it positive. So if things happen down the line, just be patient with me. I'll have to make sure I get everything in working order so you guys can enjoy the life. Meantime, I think I can start with the background. Whatever that's gonna be. I'm just trying to think. I'll probably have like a gradient in the background. I'll probably have maybe pictures of some stuff in the background, maybe some buildings, and then figure out how I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure out which brush I'm going to use as well. Okay, let's check out some things. I'm going to do some work with the layers now. So first and foremost, drawing layer off. Let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. That's his head. I might need some work if I do anything else. But a few other things here. Other than that, I think everything else looks exactly what they should look like. Shoes are fine. Jeans in order. Mm-hmm. Overall, I think it's pretty much good. It's pretty much okay, but let me just do some quick touch-ups. We can go forward. Right, so I think what I'm gonna go with first is the young man on the ground. All of the birds know that I'm almost dead. So let's select his color for his hoodie, and I'm gonna try and fill in those spots that I feel need a bit of work. It's not supposed to be big, so I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off, but we'll see. I've selected his layer, which is the young man layer. I don't really need to do this, but let's just do it. So not okay, it's done. It's done and dusted. When it comes to painting for me, I feel like painting can get away to a lot of things. I'm gonna try and get that line in with my color over it. I need an angel after what you did, 'cause you were the devil, you mess with my head. So one of the things I can talk about a lot of times is like all this comic stuff. I told you before, I'm a big comic guy, so let's say I used to be a big comic guy. I used to buy comics a lot from when I was a kid, and then my whole comic stint is part of the reason why I am able to do what I'm able to do today in art. I watch so many great artists doing their job, doing their work. If you're just joining me, as you can see, I'm painting this character. I'm using my Sergeant brush with the gray paint to fill in areas that were lacking when I had my drawing or line art layer enabled. And my line art layer is hidden at the moment, and this is going to remain hidden for the rest of this drawing, for the rest of this live. I know how long it's going to take me to finish this live. I may finish it today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. This is a reminder. But yeah, I've been drawing for a fairly long time because I followed comics for a long time, and I had people around me who also like comics and who also drew comics too. So I've been fortunate to be around a lot of art-based people. So it's been a very lived a very blessed life in God. I'm grateful to God for that life. So basically, you read a lot of these stories that you have in comics, and you think to yourself, when does it really end? You know. Well, the things I used to ask myself then, and even that's when the stories were actually good, in my opinion. I could be wrong, because some people probably feel that modern comics are better because they're not really. This is their era. You know, my generation was a bit earlier on, and the comics that they did there, in my opinion, are still the best comics still today. And people who still bother to sell comics, they stock themselves with those comics. They don't get the new ones, unless I'm wrong. And that's a legend, by the way, so I don't know. So I really don't know, but that's my checked a couple of years back. That's how it was. There was a bit of a crisis going on with comics. comic division was getting reshuffled and remodeled and rehashed. So I don't really know where it is. I stopped following all that stuff after a while. I got it. I just had a few things, other things taking my attention. I write, so I'm going to select a darker shade of gray now and see if that's gonna help me finish off with this. So I write. And by the way, my novel is called The Dormeland Saga. It's a horror series. If you like horror, that's your wheelhouse. You're very free to go to my website, which is yaza.me, and you can purchase it for a very good price. Just 3 clicks. It's also a great story. I've written since I was very, very young, so I'm sure you're gonna find something in that you'd love. I do tend to talk about a lot of stuff here. Hopefully you can see that, I'm not somebody who would probably write something that you wouldn't like. So please go on there, purchase it, tell me what you think about it. We'd love to hear your feedback, love to hear anything you have to say about it. Let me know. Call me in the chat. So I write. So I have a lot of things I'm focused on. I don't really have as much time. I don't have much time on my hands as I used to be able to just sift through stuff like I used to do. Follow a lot of different artists and a lot of different things, trends and whatnot. I talked about trends here before. But trends are not bad. Trends are actually pretty cool if you understand how they work. If you don't get overridden by them, and yeah, trends are brilliant. Yeah, but I think trends kind of makes people robotic, makes people predictable. So that's one of the downsides of a trend. Everything has advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages of a trend is it's proven, it's proven that people like this thing. So it's just like a no-brainer to say, okay, let's go this route, let's go that route, because everyone clearly likes this. The only problem with that is that it's only going to last for so long, and there's something called saturation, right? So when everybody is following a trend, that's what kills that trend. It's no longer novel. So I've already discussed about this anyway, so I don't think I need to rehash what I was saying. But I can obviously, the truth is redundant, so I can speak about it whenever. But yeah, we're going to talk about something else at the moment regarding comics and stuff. And it's like a lot of characters I find these days in comics get rehashed, get changed, get remodeled, get turned into something else that they were not when they started off. And it's like, when I think about this, I ask myself, why not just make a new character that has all these things that you want? Why not just make a new character and just hope that it catches the audience? But I guess this is where the whole trend thing kicks in, because people like this character. Everybody knows that people like this character, like a Spider-Man character. Who doesn't know Spider-Man? Who doesn't love Spider-Man? I don't think there's any dark-skinned person like me alive that doesn't like Spider-Man. Obviously, I don't really have a favorite, but Spider-Man is cool. And I was privy to his comics, I think, at one point, a bit more than DC. At one point, I saw a lot of these Steve Ditko run comics, which were pretty good. And obviously, that's like the defining guy, when it comes to Spider-Man. Did some really amazing stuff with that character and whatnot, so that's what I used to read then, and those comics were just fun to read. They're just fun. Like, you just sit down in your house, like some people just go to the pub and drink beer. Some people just go to golf course. Then you could just sit down with the comic and just read the comic, and you just have like the best time. And then they had a lot of I won't say reread value, what they call like replay value with games. Like, you had a lot of reread value with comics. You could read them again and again and again, and it never gets old. Even the same thing with movies. The movies in those days, you could watch a movie and come back and watch it again and again. It's like, yeah. But these days, it's so difficult to have that replay value with movies like in the old days. There's barely any movie these days where you want to watch the whole thing. You want to watch sections of it, for those ones that actually work. You want to watch sections of it again and again, but typically you'll find that you don't really want to watch the whole thing again because there's some parts of it that you may not agree with. There's a parts of it that's like, why is this even here? There's a part of it that's like superfluous to requirements. Editing is a bit questionable. Parts of it that's like, what am I watching? So it's like there's a lot of things that goes on to making movies these days that's a bit painful. It makes it harder to watch movies now, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I need to do his hair now because I want to decide if I'm gonna make this whole thing his hair or not. So I think I'm gonna make it just tie its hair to this point and let the rest be his hoodie, no matter how weird it looks. Yeah. So a lot of things these days detract from the story. A lot of things that have been shoehorned into movies these days detract from the underlying story of the character. And they try to make those things the motivation of the character, or they try to make the character about these things. And it's never about one specific thing. And one specific thing cannot define a character. Characters are typically multi-layered. Situations are typically multi-layered. No situation is ever straightforward. In life, no situation is ever really just one thing. It's always a conglomeration of things. That's why movies or stories that incorporate these sort of that have these facts inherent in their storylines, they tend to do the best. Even when it comes to stories that tend to mix tropes, like you have Naruto. Naruto is like a mix of a lot of different stories. I can't remember the name of the one ninja one like that. It's called Batitsu or something. Or something like that. It's like a mixture of that. It's like a mixture of Ninja Scrolls, like a mixture of Ninja and the Wonder Boys, like all kinds of different stories mixed into one. That's why it does well, because at least one part of it is going to draw you in. And you shouldn't get me started on Naruto, honestly, because as well as Naruto was written, it was just a really weird story. In this really weird, annoying story. Maybe I'll get into that another time. I don't know. It was a really, really weird, annoying story, if you ask me. In some areas, right? Not the whole thing, just some areas of it were kind of irritating. Yeah. Maybe if you guys want to chat about it, let me know. Obviously, you might not agree with everything I say, but that's the whole point about life. Like, life is about everyone having their own opinion on things, and we all have to agree, sometimes disagree. And that's the beauty of life, that we can agree to disagree. We don't have to have any bad blood or anything. Just a discussion. You have that respect for each other. You say how you feel about something and not expect someone to just try to railroad their own ideas, I'll never do that, but I will offer things, I will suggest things that I think will be useful to you. As they say, I can only open the door where you have to walk through it. So I find a lot of times, I've read a lot of these comics, and some of them are very, very, very interesting, very compelling. Others are very mature and demure, You have a lot of things about them that it's like, you don't really understand. You have like Swamp Thing, you have like Constantine, you have like all these other stories which are more under the mature spectrum of things. Yeah, but they had a lot of these stories in those days. A lot of these kind of comics these days get cancelled, or anything that's based on them gets cancelled because people that make those stories cannot be bothered to go through and find the right stories to make of, you know, or the stories they're looking for, they're not finding them because they might have some kind of agenda or something, allegedly. I don't know. Everything I say is alleged when it comes to all these things outside of my purview of knowledge. I'm just reading stuff from places I've seen them. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah. I really don't know. I really don't know why certain stories you have so much of an opportunity, like you had with. I'm kind of straddling two things now: movies and comics. So the movies now a good example of giving people something different from what they expected was Star Wars. The last 3 episodes of Star Wars. I know a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about those things, but personally, I actually liked the movies. I know it's probably not fashionable to say that, you know. I think the movies are cool, and this is coming from someone who's dark skinned and who feels like John Boyega should have been the main guy in that storyline. So I feel like John Boyega should have been the central part. He should have been what they wanted him to be and what they intended him to be, the main character. But decided to make someone else the main character, and they did that, and it's their choice, you know. The studio can do whatever they want to do with their money, with their characters, you know. I personally liked Rey. I liked the dynamic between her and Boyega in the first one, especially. They kind of played off on it in the last part, but there was no real ties between them like there was in the first part. There was no real connections between them. So part of the reason I'm bringing this up because obviously Star Wars is based off George Lucas's story, and it's been serialized in a lot of different formats, a lot of different comics, and some of them are well praised, some of them are not, you know. And if you want, I'm not the guy, you know. I'm not the Star Wars guy, to be honest. I'm just a bystander when it comes to Star Wars. And yeah, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but the reason I brought it up is that a lot of these stories, people tend to not like them because they're not following what they're supposed to be following, or there's certain things they bring up about midichlorians and all these things that is not in line with the storyline. Which brings me to my next point about why and how comics seem to be changing so much of the old storylines, you know. They seem to take a lot of pleasure in changing storylines, you know, making them to become different from what they were, and so on, you know. So it's like I don't really understand what the essence of that is. And it comes back to what I said, is like, if you must do that, why not just make an alternate universe like they used to do in DC? They used to have something called Elseworlds in DC, and everybody knew Elseworlds was very different from the run-of-the-mill storylines. Right, so basically I need to organize my layers now to try and figure out what's what and know where everything is gonna go. Okay, so I think I can safely pull all this in one layer, can't I? If I go behind this one, I should be behind it. Yeah, I should. So that means I'm pretty much done with everything on here now, right? So now I can just move all these layers together, and then I can just group them, and that's that. Nice. So good. Now I think we're organized. So what I'm going to do now is going to make my background. This is very, very key for me to figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make the background close. I'm going to make it far. I believe I'll make it far. So I'm going to first of all draw what's supposed to be in the background. I'm going to draw the background to the background. Then I'm going to go ham from that point. So yeah, you guys should just enjoy the ride. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll finish this today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go. I'm not sure why I didn't even add this. Why did I not add it? I can bring this down. I don't need anything anymore. So let me just make my layer supposed to be behind. So I'm gonna let's call it building. So I'm gonna try drawing some, I don't know, some weird stuff. So let me save. So just moving on from here, I'm just gonna try and think about what brush I'm gonna use. I'm gonna stick with my usual brush or use something different. I think I'm gonna use something different. So I'm gonna try and figure out what that is. So let me see if I can find something straightforward. Yeah, this might be useful. A soft cover brush, and I might use this before. I believe I have the right color selected still. This is a very good brush. I didn't realize it was this good. Probably use it for other things going forward. It's a great brush. It's a great brush. Okay, so it's pretty dark. I use a different color. Use a color pick. The gray brush, not what I want, I think. If it's not, I might go back to that particular brush, but we'll see. Check for something else. This blender, I don't think it's gonna be good for what I want. Let me check it and see. Oh, actually it might be. Oh, actually perfect what I need. Perfect. Let me try this. Yeah, this is kind of what I want. This is what I want. Right, so as you can see, I'm coloring these. I have something in the background. You guys have figured it out yet. They're very smart, so I'm sure you will figure it out. Who doesn't love a mystery? Right, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I keep talking about stuff. Maybe not. So basically, we find a lot of times that the stories are not being respected, you know, and that will tell in the actual storyline of the comic or the movie or whatever is based on it, you know. You look at the characters. The issue with Rey was the fact that she was not a well-planned character, but I think they had other plans and they changed the plans in the last second and made it into something else, and that's the reason why she felt a bit two-dimensional. At least later on, she didn't feel two-dimensional in the first part. I think the first part was going the way it was supposed to go. Then decided to now change things. They decided to change things at the last minute, and that kind of messed with the whole character arc for her. So, personally, I don't mind how it went. I don't mind the whole angle between her and Kylo and stuff. It was fine. I had zero issues with it. I think that's how it was meant to have gone. The way they went with the storyline, basically. So they went a different route to the storyline. Maybe I could say something else, but the way they went to that storyline, it's ended in the most logical way you could think it would end. So there's not really much to say when it comes to how it ended, because the whole thing was kind of changed in any case. That's what it felt like. I could be wrong. It felt like the whole thing was kind of up. It was kind of like I need a second to take a breath to keep me guessing with what the whole thing was redone, like Dave Chappelle and his trailer. So, Basically, what is came into his trailer, he sees a dress, and it's like, why is it dressing here? And they just redid the whole thing in like 2 seconds. That's kind of what it feels like. I feel like they could change a movie there in like 5 seconds if they so choose to do so. Just their prerogative, right? And what they want to do, they will do. So that's how that stuff works. That's how it's always worked. So I'm not even like, I'm happy that he became a side character in his own franchise. That should have been it, Boyega's franchise. That should have been his coming out party. There's a bit of weird stuff going on there when it comes to certain people and certain outcomes. You just have this airy stuff going on when it comes to dark-skinned characters in Disney. It just seems to be something weird that just seems to happen to them every turn. Either something happens to them in real life that compromises their role, or something happens to them in the movie itself that compromises their role. So they can never seem to hold down a role for themselves for long. The Black Panther role, I think they're trying to give it to another guy, but they never found anyone on the level of Chadwick to take the role. There was talk about maybe using Michael B, but I don't know if that's true or not, to be fair. When I think about it now, I just wonder to myself, who exactly could even play that role the way he did? I can't think of anybody. The only people I can think of, they've already taken him out of the equation. So, as you can tell, I have a lot to say, and a lot of my stuff is merging together. I get it. It might be a bit confusing. And just in case you're joining me, this is Yazart, artist and author. I do give my personal musings on these lives in the place of truth. I tell the truth here, thank God. And I pray you guys enjoy what we're doing here. I'm just drawing a piece. These buildings in the background. And I'm so glad we found this brush. Exactly what I needed, exactly what the doctor ordered. I think we're almost done here. Let me just see if I can add a few more things. We can call it and go move on to something else. As you can see, this layer is behind all the layers, so it's not going to affect any of them. It's just going to be in the background. Those of you who are here, I did the block of the characters in the foreground, so the colors behind them will not run. It will not affect the characters ahead of it. That's by design. That's why blocking is so important. I think this is like maybe the first real time I've used it correctly in my lives on Twitch or YouTube, wherever you find this. A lot of times I forget, and does it block my portraits differently from my landscape paintings. But today, thank God, we got this one. We got him! So yeah, we got this one. I think I'm approaching the end of this now, hopefully. We can go to the next phase. And yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do another layer now behind this one. I'm going to use a different brush as well. Call it dark sky. It might not be dark, but let's just say dark sky because yeah, usually when you do sky, your blue is super muted, right? So this one is not going to be super muted. That's why I said dark sky. Doesn't mean it's going to be super dark either. But basically, that's what we're going for. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, I think I got the look I wanted. Maybe. I think I need one more big building there, to be honest. Yeah, I think I do, actually. Let's do one more big building this side. Not a short one. I think that will give me the presence I need. So I know a lot of people love Star Wars, so I'm gonna say right now, I'm not a Star Wars geek. Never was. Just somebody who just likes decent filmmaking. Like the effort people make into making films. But I make stuff too, I make content too. I know what it takes, and I have a lot of respect for people that get stuff done in that regard. Not easy. Never able to achieve something like that is thank God, because there's a lot that goes into that sort of stuff. Thank God for my day today and being here with you guys right now drawing this. I speak for anyone else. What I will say that a lot of times, a lot of these stories I've been told, fans don't really like those stories the way they've been told. They tend to not appreciate the fact that a lot of care was not taken to put those stories down in a way they would like. So the story is very key, and it comes back to what I was talking about with comics in the past. Comics of old, they understood how to write a good story. These days, I don't know if we are going backwards or whatnot. I can't think of any story that's popped up in the last 10 years, apart from Batman Who Laughs. I can't think of anything else that's popular in the last 2 years that was of any notoriety. And if Batman Who Laughs was as big a success as it was, why haven't they made any series of it in the film division of DC? What are they waiting for? That's what I'd like to know. Because almost every, I can mention, I told you before, for me to mention it, you guys need to ask me which one I think they're going to do. That might be a huge epic next. Because all these ones that they're doing now, by God's mercy, I kind of called them. So maybe I might be able to say the next one, I don't know. But I do know the stories that made sense in that era, and that's pretty much all the stories that they've done. Every single one, even for the Marvel side of things that are doing Secret Wars, same thing. Secret Wars is huge crossover event for Marvel. There was like an answer to DC's Identity Crisis in the old days. Identity Crisis was one of the first comics of its kind to have a world-changing event that resulted in the annihilation of certain heroes. The issue with it these days is that it's gimmicky. It's a gimmick now, and I could be wrong again about that, but and it's alleged, and yeah, it's alleged, and yeah, so I don't really understand where they go a lot of times with these storylines. It's like, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? What is your goal? Why is the focal point of this story about ending a character's life? It should be about life, not death. And that's what the crises are for. It's for life. That's what people tend to forget a lot of times in these crisis events. That they're not actually supposed to be about death. It's supposed to be about life. It's supposed to be about people doing things, and getting a different kind of outcome to what they would expect to get usually. I'm just trying to select the brush. My default brush here could be one thing, or maybe I could use Sergeant for this. I think I'll use Sergeant. I want to have some variation in the background, I think. Yeah, I want to have some variation. I want to have some more control. I do have variation in these other brushes, and the other brush that we found before was pretty good, so I don't know if I should use that one and see how that goes. Take a chance. I'll just stick to my norm for this live, for the sake of this live. I'll just stick to what I feel will be useful for you guys in this live. I'll just stick into as few brushes as possible. Background, I use a different kind of brush. Other than that, I've only used one brush, which is my sketcher my 2B pencil for drawing, and then my Sergeant brush for my rendering. So nothing really special, nothing really too out of joint or out of place. If you have a round brush, you can follow what I'm doing, exactly what I'm doing. I can do this whole stuff with a round brush as well. It's practically the same thing. The difference between round brush and what I use is that my brush has a lot more flow control and pressure control to it. It's kind of like more of a specialist brush. That doesn't mean I said I'm a specialist. I'm just saying that it's more of a specialist brush. So it's something I tend to use because it gives me more options. I do love to have options. Options is huge for me. Okay, so let me think. Right, I think I'm gonna have a bit of a gradient. I'm gonna have a bit of a darker shade on the top with the blues, the background. I'm gonna have something different. I'm not sure if the Sergeant brush is the best thing to use here, to be honest. massaging brush does pretty much everything I need to do. Right, so let's get it cracking. First things first, I'm gonna have a bit of a demarcation. Am I the right layer? No, I'm not. Actually, it's good to be switched on. Thank God I'm aware and present. So good. So basically, that's a bit too dark, isn't it? That's not the shade of blue I want. Maybe I can start with his jeans. I don't want it to be in line with his jeans, the color of his jeans. I want it to be different. Let's try a different blue. Let's go that route and see how that goes. That's not bad blue, I guess. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark. You know what, guys? I'm gonna stick with a different brush for this. Give more control over how my color is displayed as well. So I'm gonna use either the acrylic, I'm gonna use the concept chitter brush, one or the other. So I'm using a concept art chitter brush that has a bit of a line, which is hopefully not going to be a problem when I'm using it. Okay, so let me try this. Let me see how dark it is. Still pretty dark. Alright, I need it to be a bit of a lighter shade. And the color blue, I don't know if it's ideal for this or not. I don't know, it might work. If it doesn't do it. I'm just trying to do everything at once in one fell swoop and just try and eyeball it and see if it makes any sense or not. If you guys are enjoying this, I hope that you guys feel welcome here. If you're just arriving, welcome. My name is Yazart. I'm an artist and author, and I do love to do art pieces. I do like to talk about the truth, and I do like reading the Bible. So yeah. So this is a bit too dark. It's a bit too dark. Is it too dark? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Mm-mm. 'Cause you're just a ghost. I Yes, I will do something like that. I think it's too. I don't know why I'm not really reading this color. You know what? Let me leave that layer. Let me try a different layer this time. Disable that layer. Make a different layer. Call it Dark Sky 2. Then I'm going to select a lighter shade. This. Let's see how that goes. I want to be super dark. It's right now it's dark. It's dark. I want to be like super dark, but not super dark. If that makes any sense. Right, is that even better? Is that any better? I'm happy with it. I can just delete the other one. I'm happy with this brush as well. I'm happy with my brush choice. Right, so I'm gonna do my gradient from here. I think we're okay with this. Maybe I can change a hue or something, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, reading a lot of these comics and stuff is like kind of hard. It's kind of hard. You see a lot of these comics and they look to be very, very different from their old counterparts. The old stories. Look at how they're written, how they're organized, the characters, the payoff, the time management, the space management, the concentration of the story. You know, you don't feel like the story is just dragging on. It's like everything looks like it's been planned. And whenever they did crossovers, those crossovers were properly planned and they had real consequences. These days, there are no consequences. So people dying these days doesn't really mean much. Like when Dick Grayson died. No, when Jason Todd died. If you don't know who Jason Todd is, he's like the second Robin. Batman had 3 Robins. First one was I mentioned his name before. I know it was escaping me, but it's Dick Grayson. Second one is Jason Todd. Third one is Tim Drake. I think overall Jason Todd is like the best fighter out of all of them. But basically he became like the Red Hood and stuff. And it was finally brought back in the 2000s, I think it was. But yeah, that guy stayed dead for a long time. And when he came back with a bang. Like they even have a story of it. They even have an animation of it in DC, right? So that's an example of a story that was powerful enough to make it to the big leagues. You already made it to the big leagues, but they used it in the animation, and that was one of the better ones. Like, Jensen Ackles voiced Robin, and his rendition of Robin to me is one of the best I've seen on screen. So I really liked his rendition of Robin, even more so than Batman. Batman is really forgettable. Yeah, his Robin was ridiculous. Right, I think I'm gonna delete this. Delete this. I'm gonna remove that one. Oh man. Yeah, let's get rid of it. So I'm gonna make a copy of it. I'm gonna duplicate it. Just in case I mess it up, so I can dark sky 3. Kind of avoided this for a while, doing this online, but as you can see, I'm doing it now. But this is how I tend to draw. I tend to make copies of my layers, and if I feel like I get a decent version of it, then I keep it and delete the previous one. That's how we roll. So what I'm gonna try and do now is I'm gonna reduce the brightness, increase the brightness of the color, reduce the saturation of the color. That's what I was trying to say. A bit of gradation. Looks a bit lighter, doesn't it? So. So yeah, that's an example of how things used to be in those days, in the old days. Used to have characters who, when they died, they stayed dead. They were not. It wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't. Oh, it was gonna come back, and yep, just have to wait for maybe a few weeks, and they'll be back in your face again. You know? But nowadays, like, yeah. Yeah, so that's what it was. Like nowadays, that's what it is. It's not very good. It's not good, man. Nothing really means much of anything these days. When a character dies, it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Anyone can just decide, oh, is this character useful? Yeah, maybe it's useful for this one tiny plot line. You just drag him back to reality and then just kill him off again if you feel like killing him off. That's kind of how it feels like when it comes to comics these days. The writers don't seem to have very much respect for the material like they used to do in the old days. The old days, you find artists spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to draw certain characters and how to make them look comic accurate for what people know. So I'm not entirely sure if that same level of love is put into things as it was in the old days. I really have no idea. And that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, I think I got what I wanted. I think this is fine. I won't spend too much time on that. I'm just gonna go to the crazy part now. I'm gonna do some overlay work. So that's what I thought I was gonna do initially, but now I need to do some darkening stuff first. I need to do that first. I need to do my usual stuff first, and then I'll do my overlay, and then I'll go from there. So I will first do stuff like I told you guys. I will start with an overall layer, shadow layer, and there could also be a highlight layer as well. So I can go that route as well. We'll have to try and figure out how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a dark layer. I'm gonna have my shadow layer, which I'm doing now. I'm gonna have a highlight layer, I believe. Then I'm going to go ham from there. I keep saying going ham, but nothing special. Just adding another layer. That's what I'm gonna do. or so it seems. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are waiting with bated breath. Okay, so I think that was good. So I think I can delete this one as well. Da-da-da. We have to save. So I was moving on to that. You guys are really special, and I really appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna do, yeah, so let's go to the top here and now. I'm gonna add myself a shading layer, right? So shading, I'm gonna call it shading layer. Don't worry, you won't get shaded here. I'm here to encourage you, not shade you. So yeah, I hope we don't think I'm shading anyone or anybody or any entity. I'm just here to just say the truth. You know, I've said this like countless times. Like I told you before, the truth is redundant. So okay, let me think. So I think the brush I use for this. Do I use a different brush this time? Okay, I think I want to stick with the brush I'm using now. Typically, I use my acrylic brush. That's the most non-intrusive brush, like the most brain-dead brush I can use right now. But let's just do something different. I don't have a set way of doing things, as you guys know. So I don't have a set way of doing this stuff. So I'm grateful for you guys being here. Don't forget to visit my website. It's Yazart, which is yazart.me. Just go on there to get a host of stuff. I have a wonderful horror series called the German Land Saga. It's 4-part chapters with a great story about two wonderful people, two young people going through life and avoiding the horrors around them and doing everything they can to survive by God's grace. So please feel free to go on there. It's available in just 3 clicks. It's an ebook. It's also available on Amazon. You can read a preview on the website. I have a trailer for the book as well, which shows you a lot of different cool stuff on the website. You know, as an artist, I can show you some really cool stuff. So I'm sure you're going to find some really nice stuff on there with a lot of trailers, a lot of author readings, a lot of different things to keep you occupied. That's a good way to spend your day right now. Just go on my website and just sit, just have a look, get stuck into the story, just enjoy yourself. I've got music on there. I have one called the 12 Tribes of Yesharala. It's a music album. I have other albums available, but I need to put them in certain places first before I promote them. On the album that's there, so you may see some surprises. So just go on there and see what you like. The album is available for download for a fee. You can also listen to it as well. So you can very much do that. Any of these things you get would be brilliant. I have merchandise with art pieces on, books, hoodies, t-shirts, pins, tote bags, books, all sorts of things. You know, you can very well get this for yourself or for your family members or for your friends. I've also got stationery with beautifully designed covers, which you would definitely love, and I'm sure your family, your friends, or your kids will love as well. Don't hesitate to refer me, please, as well. That would be brilliant. And anything you can do there on the website and get from the website would be brilliant for me. That would be help to support me on this journey I'm on. I really love to have that support and really appreciate you just being here as well. Just you being here watching is great. You chatting is even better. You sending me a like is even better. You promoting a live is better. You following me is even better. All these things are really, really great, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. Just to let you guys know, I really, really stand as a grateful person, as a grateful man. Right, so I can't remember what I was supposed to do now. What do we do now? So let me see. I'm just gonna I have my brush selected, so all I need to do now is go and get my dark shade. I'm gonna go my dark shade, and then I'm gonna go my opacity. Hopefully, this should be enough. Give me a second, y'all. I test my brush. Okay, it's in order. Done. Okay, my brush here again. Okay. Must be really light. Right, let me just try a regular. I think my opacity might be a bit too low. Try this. Yeah, looks like a decent shade. If you ask me, not really dark enough. Maybe I can go darker, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I want a darker shade, so it doesn't really coincide with what's there. I like it though. I like it, so I will keep it. I'm gonna do what I've been doing today, which is to leave that layer, hide the layer, and make a new layer, and then see if I get something different. I'm gonna call this one shading. You guessed it, 1. Shading 1. I'm gonna select a different opacity. I'm not really being super friendly today with the opacity, so this is gonna be pretty proper high, I guess. So let me know how much I need. Oh, that's a bit better, I think. And if I'm doing the characters, I need to go a bit low. Select the lower brush size. Let me think where the lights come from. So we're here. This is my overarching shadings. I can do whatever I want here. Just make the drawing a bit more lifelike.
If you wanna be a wonder, baby, come and show it. Tell me what you feel in your heart and your soul. There's nothing I would take for granted. With me, we'll make it through.
Using a regular brush, I'm reducing the opacity so it doesn't have as much of an effect as it usually would on the layer below it. It also gets to show the work I've done in the previous layers, so it's kind of like a win-win for me. want them to be proper, the shade. This came out pretty well. So I need to reduce the side, but I don't need it to be super accurate, just overall. That's what this is for. If you ask me, this shade is still not dark enough, but let's go to the end of the world. I'm doing the legs. These characters is darker still.
I need a second to take a breath, to keep me guessing with what you said. You're in my head. We're under pressure, we're sinking deep like stormy weather.
You see what I'm doing, guys? Man, this is my extra shading. The shade king. Not in that bad sense, but like I love shading. Shading is something I feel I can't live without when it comes to drawing. Shading is huge when it comes to comic drawing. Don't master your shading, you can't really do a good comic. That's facts. Yes. Okay, so I actually feel like I'm not done for these now. I can actually focus on other things. I'm going to decrease my brush size. That's why a lot of times I don't need highlights, because yeah, this. You just keep darkening things till the lighter parts become like highlight themselves. This is making sense to all of y'all, because you see how I'm doing this. This is how I get things done. How we roll out here. Okay, so am I done? I think I am. I didn't think I'll be done this quickly, but let's see if that's. Alright, so what I need now is the highlights, I guess. Which color am I going to use for highlights? That's a question. White would be not the best. Maybe it will. I don't know. White is the best idea You see how this is shaping out. You remember the time we started drawing this? We're just a bunch of lines. Now the lines are turning into something else. That is awesome. Alright, without further ado, let's get to doing some highlights, I guess. So, get that stuff on the road. Hit the road, Jack. Have an idea. Highlights. Ironically, I don't like to spell highlights full. I like to spell everything else in full, but that's not highlights. Brilliant, isn't it? Okay, so let me see what we're gonna do. You. Oh no. It's not very good. What did we do? We selected this color. Oh no. Oh no. That's very bad. Oh no. That's some bad things going on out there. Oh no. Right, so let's see about this. I think I'm gonna go this route. Let's go there, and there. Let's do whatever is best for this character. I think I need to use my brain, right? I need to think. That's how the best shade light source is coming from. Love painting, I really do. Painting is awesome. I'm going to get this right. I need to use my brush size. Before I do that though, I hope I don't forget his face though, but let me do something else first. Let me use this size first if I go somewhere else. The other ones I really need to get.
The silhouette's burning, embers rising high, like a chemical fire. The flame won't die. Intertwine, darling, you and I.
Right, I think what I need to do what I wanted to do before I do any other amendments overall. Any other overarching amendments.
Barely scratching the surface. This obsession of mine.
Okay, so it's in this one now. Okay, going to the other side, so the leg. Again, there's one here as well. On this side. And this is shoe here, remember? That should be pretty much it. Cool, so I think we're done with that. It's pulling it closer to what I expected. Check some things. So now I can do his face and whatever part of his body I want to do. Use the brush size.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around. When I start to sing, and suddenly it feels
It's hard to see what is there.
Tell me, can you hear the symphony?
Okay. Oh, already done his hand, I think. Plus his face remained.
Can't help but think that it's meant to be, that I'm finally right where I'm supposed to.
Maybe I can do that as well.
If I let you into the secret,
Yeah.
would you listen? I can hear each sound.
Okay. Let's see about that now.
When I start to sing, and
Alright, so I think I can just go ahead and do the other stuff I planned. If I do that, maybe I should change the opacity of this. Okay, so let me look at the blend mode. Not opacity, I'm looking at the blend mode of my highlights layer. Let me see if I can find something that's decent for it. Screen or whatever. Screen or overlay should be fine. Let's try screen. It's decent, I guess. overlay, not really what I want. Screen is better. Screen. I keep forgetting which one is which, but yeah. Cool. I think we're good with that. I've also done the pavement as well, I guess.
Not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost you never.
Yeah, I think we did build the pavement, I guess, right? I think we did the pavement like that, to be honest. Okay, I think I've reached the point now. So one of two ways I can go is the final phase of this, or just to do a bit of my color grade here, which I don't typically do here, but let me try and do it here, I guess. Let me see how that goes. I wouldn't call it color grade, but let's say, let me just change some things here. And go do the color grading afterwards offline. So I'm going to add, I'm going to add a shape or something, right? Let's see. Maybe I can just make my life easier. Add a layer, call it. Let's see what happens here. Blue. Blue hue. Just say blue. Right, so let me try something. What shine do I need? Okay, so what do I have selected? Right, so I have that selected. Let's try something. It makes my life easier. So for the first time, as you can see, guys, I filled the layer by hand rather than coloring it, because I have other intentions. Rather than me trying to paint it myself. So let me do an overlay. Let me see how that goes.
You're just a ghost inside my head.
Oh, well, what do we have here? Now this is closer to what I want. Exactly what I want, actually. So you can see, when it comes to things like this, I may decide to leave it like this and just go from there. This is how I roll, you know, a lot of times. I want it to be a bit darker, but again, I can do that in post and I have to do it here. And then you can see his skin color is darker. Typical, which I love. This looks exactly the way I wanted it to look. Thank God. So this is in line. I could have done this somewhere else, but I decided to do it here online for you guys to see what I'm doing. I don't have to have this enabled right now. I just wanted to show what's possible. So I would likely be going this look. I can either do it here or I can do it in post. Doesn't really matter to me, but this is kind of what I'll be going. This is what I'll be looking for. And then I have one more thing left to do now, which I need to do. You guys will have an idea where I'm going with this, like with this whole thing. So yeah. I think I'll call it here today, actually. And maybe tomorrow I'll just finish off on this. Call it today on that one. I would probably be starting closer to time, so I won't have to spend so much time in the intermission. But then again, you know how this live goes. How we start off. Well, we always start at 9 on the dot. So basically 9 on the dot on the timer. So if you're watching the timer, then whenever the timer elapses, that's when we start. So otherwise I may start earlier, and when the timer finishes, sometimes I may start later, but I haven't done that yet, thank God. So yeah. So this is where we are right now. I could stop here for you guys. I could just stop this whole thing and just move on to the next piece, but maybe I'll just complete what I'm trying to do so you guys can have an idea what I'm trying to do, and then you can tell me what you think about it, or whatever else you want to add. You tell me how you feel, how your day is going, tell me what's up with you, tell me how you're feeling, you know, tell me what's going through your head regarding this whole series I've been doing. So hopefully this series should have ended today, but I think I'll be calling it again. I'll be calling it today. I'll be in here tomorrow, same time, 9:30. I don't know if I should continue this piece or not in my next outing, but this is more or less finished. I don't have to really do anything else here because I've showed you guys what's possible to be done, and yeah, this should be crystal clear to you right now. And everything right now should be on Twitch. I don't think it's more than 3 or 4 episodes. I think this should be the fourth part to this. This should have happened yesterday, but God knows best. God knows why He left it till today. And I'm happy that we continued it today. At this point in time, I can consider it finished, but I still feel like I want to do the extra stuff I want to do and maybe show you guys. I'm not be doing much of that going forward, just so I can focus on just drawing and just moving from drawing to drawing, so I won't spend too much time on something that might not super interest you, because this is the main reason I'm doing this, is to show, you know, that you can do this yourself, not just for digital, not just for people who have not done digital before, those who are also traditional artists, you can get into the digital side of things, you know. So if I can do it, you know, anyone can do it, you know. So basically it's something that anyone can do, and that's the reason why, part of the reason why I do this, to let you know that you can do it. You can move from traditional to digital relatively easily. It takes time to get used to the whole thing. It took me personally a long time, but that's me. Everyone's different. It might take you 10 minutes to get into the whole thing. You never know. You just have to give it a try, you know, jump into the water. I'm not saying they should do that in real life. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, or jump off the roof, Miles Morales style. You know, have an act of faith. Basically, what I'm trying to say. So you should believe in yourself, believe in what you can do. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to help. Here to throw my own hat to the ring. I'm here to take things forward. A lot of people have added a lot of things to my life in every regard, including art. I'm just doing my own part as well to add to that whole thing. This is what God called me to do, and I'm doing my best here to make sure you guys know that I care for you and I want the best for you in every regard, especially your spiritual life, first and foremost. You know, don't forget to give your life to Christ if you have not. You know, put your faith in Him, and He'll never disappoint you. That's been the case for me, and I guarantee that. Not personally me, but God is the one who will take care of you, like He takes care of me and all of us, you know, both the ones who know Him and the ones who don't. So I hope you guys have had a great day. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I might either be continuing it tomorrow. I might jump to something else tomorrow. It just depends on how I feel. If anybody has any explicit requests, let me know. Let me know how you feel. Don't forget to visit my website, which is yazard.me, yazart.me. Feel free to go on there to buy my stuff, go through everything that you love to go there. I have a lot of content there that you can just listen to and you can just read. I'm sure you enjoy. I have a horror novel called The Domainland Saga. It's a horror series and it's something that you would love. It's about two young people navigating life's horrific problems that presents itself to them. You know, they have to find ways to overcome it, just like all of us have to do in life. You know, life is like a horror movie. You never know what's around the corner. So hope you guys have a great time. Thank you for showing up today. Don't forget to go to my website and purchase something. That greatly supports me. I want to say thank you so much in advance. I know you guys work hard for your money and I really appreciate it. Every little helps. Whatever you can give would be brilliant. You know, go through the whole site and see what it is you like. And just like my stuff, you know, follow me, support me, share my stuff, please, to whoever you want. Send me a chat. Tell me whatever you feel. And whatever you feel regarding this series. Thank you so much for showing up again today. This is Yazat as an author. God bless. Over and out. Ciao.